This is Morning Juice. Sports, insight, and great storytelling. Starring Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Tito Thitoff. It's time to attack and dominate.
Oh, it's a Thursday. We'll attack and dominate at Morning Juice. I'm Tito, Jeff Thitoff. My left, Bobby Carpenter. To my right, Isaiah. Bobby, have you had any communication with Bodie? I'm sorry, it's Thursday. Brody.
Yeah, I've been. I text Bodie probably daily.
Is he coming back?
I haven't asked him that.
Okay.
That's not of consequence to me.
Well, if he doesn't come back, we need to have a new full-time producer. I know you encouraged it.
You can talk to Isaiah. I said, if you have a good time down there, man, you don't want to leave, go ahead and stay. Who am I to impede on another man's joy?
How are you today, Bob?
I'm doing great.
Got a big show lineup for you today. We'll have Albert Breer on at 7:05, Your Highness at 7:40. The greatest hour in the history of this radio show is the 7 o'clock hour on Thursdays, I believe. No offense to everyone else. Morning Juice sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin. 2 hours here on YouTube, the Fan app, Twitter, and Facebook. Catch the show from 10 a.m. to noon on 10 TV Plus. Download the podcast anywhere you get your audio. Guardians lost the Brewers last night. They'll play it today at 2:10 in the getaway game. Reds fell to the Mets 9-1. Cincinnati's off today. They'll play at the Yankees on Friday. Don't forget the World Cup, USA, Australia playing Friday at 3 o'clock. Portugal and Ronaldo yesterday, Bob. Soccer, Bob.
Mm-hmm.
A 1-1 draw. And depending on which site you go to or which announcer you listen to, it's either Congo DR or DR Congo. Do you know if we have a...
I've always called it the Democratic Republic of Congo, so I would say it's DR Congo, but...
I've seen it both ways.
Dr. Congo.
You know, it's funny. Somebody yesterday in the broadcast talked about the fact that they did hear an announcer one time say that it was Dr. Congo.
Of course. A lot of ignorant people in the world.
A lot of ignorant. They just, it's
what else would you define that as?
I would just say there's somebody who's not,
They're not educated on it? What do you think the definition of ignorant is?
Okay, all I'm saying is, Bob, that listen, Bob, if you get somebody who hasn't done it very long, maybe a fairly new person doing something like that for another country.
A lack of knowledge or awareness in general, uneducated or sophisticated. If you're calling it Dr. Congo, it's because you lack awareness of it, or knowledge of it, which is the definition of ignorant.
So Dr. Congo and Portugal tied 1-1, draw there. Exciting game. It was fun to watch. I've already watched more World Cup soccer in this tournament than I have in any other World Cup in my life.
You think it's because it's here?
I don't think it's because it's here. I think it's because I bet on it.
Well, there you go.
I think that's what it is.
Perfect.
I think it's betting is what it is. Because I did take Portugal.
Wikipedia refers to it as the Democratic Republic of Congo.
So the DR. So it's DR Congo.
Yeah. Any map I've ever seen, it says Democratic Republic of Congo.
I was going to say Dominican Republic. I'm glad you said the Democratic thing. That's good. That makes me sound smarter. England over Croatia 4-2 yesterday. That was another fun game to watch. Harry Kane.
I don't know if this is still true after, well, probably still is just because everybody's played one game. I don't know that anyone's played two. They said there was a potential, albeit very slim, for the United States to play England on the 4th of July.
Wouldn't that be great?
That would be great.
It'd be amazing.
Oh.
I mean, listen, if God's smiling down on the United States, that's the only way that I'd like to have it. They could maybe just play that in the White House lawn.
I think we're the one country under God, right?
Set up over there, start grading the field. Let's go.
Are we the one country under God, indivisible? Does anybody else have that? I think we've got
probably
that claim.
Not.
I think we took it.
I'm pretty sure you're probably right in that.
I think God is American.
I don't know if I'd say that, but sure.
I don't know, Bob. Just feels like he is. We are one nation under God, indivisible. I said that every day. It was drilled into my head before school started.
The Pledge of Allegiance
I don't know if they do. I don't think they do, but I did every day.
Do they not?
I don't think they do.
That feels crazy.
Anybody out there who's got kids?
They play that song in Rocky IV, the Russian Soviet Union national anthem.
I don't think God's up there with the hammer and sickle, but I do believe. I don't know.
I hope not, because all communist countries are secular and non-religious. So
right,
I doubt
could be.
The case.
I would hope that's not the case. If our God was non-religious, Bobby, that'd be an issue. I think long term.
But I don't know. We said the Pledge of Allegiance, and we sang either the Star Spangled Banner, America the Beautiful, like a song as well every morning.
You sang it every morning?
Yeah, something.
We just did the Pledge of Allegiance.
Our country 'tis of thee. I mean, we did one of them every day.
Sweet Land of Liberty?
Why not? Of the IC.
We did the pledge and then our school fight song.
You did?
Even better. I like that.
That's pretty good, yeah. That's pretty good. Other than the name of your team was called the Communists, but nonetheless, other than that, it was good. I don't know, Bob. I don't think my kids. You think your kids say the Pledge of Allegiance every day? You think
I'll have to ask them if they can say it. If you can't recite it as a rising fourth grader,
right.
You don't say it every day.
They probably sing it like that Happy Birthday though in the in Office Space. Happy birthday to you. They might just go through the motions on it, but I
don't care even if you're going through the motions.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you are challenged, like you should. If you recite something 250 times in a year for multiple years, there's zero chance you're not remembering it. It's not the Gettysburg Address.
No, it's not. That's 7 years ago. No, that's something else, isn't it? No, that's it. Yeah. Anyway, no, it's not the Gettysburg Address. Anyway,
that
Bob.
Is. No,
7 years ago. And then how long? Did we decide how long is 7 years?
It scores 80, so that's 87 years.
Okay. All right. By the way, did you see? I saw this on PTI because I watch it every day, Bob. There was a tortoise yesterday that turned 194 years old.
Okay.
He was born when Andrew Jackson was president.
Said on June 6th, I believe, the last child of a Civil War veteran passed away.
Wow. I was trying to explain to
He
Artie.
also fought in World War II, so he had that going for him as well.
Double dipped.
Yes. Yeah. So Andrew Jackson, like when that tortoise was born, Abe Lincoln was like 25 years old.
Perfect.
Ghana beat Panama yesterday, Bob.
I think Van Halen wrote a song about that.
Okay. I said Panama to Artie, and Artie said, no, it's Panama. And we had an argument about that.
Oh, my gosh.
I know.
What do they learn in school?
Dude, I don't know.
pay all this money in taxes. And
I know.
My son said something similar one time. Like, what do you even do in there?
But we don't even know. Bob, you and I are both. I would think that you and I are.
One of my kids spelled U's, and my kids get pretty good grades.
I remember the U's. That was funny. Yes.
Y-O-U-S.
Like,
use. I'm going to
use it. Use this.
Like, Isaiah, how are you using that mic right there? Are you going to use that mic?
Yeah.
Y-O-U-S? What? Insanity.
But Bob, you and I think are both.
They can't write in cursive.
Okay.
Can't sign their name. Unbelievable.
We are kind of hands-on parents. If you'd say you are a hands-on parent?
Yeah, I put my hands on my
I
kids.
was say you spank him. I mean, that's hands-on.
Bob,
He's not a hands-on parent.
I've spanked my kid.
No.
Oh, I can't say it publicly now.
I
Take that
can't.
out.
You said that with so much pride.
CPS has come to our house before, and I felt good about that.
CPS did?
Yeah.
I haven't had that yet.
Well,
but I probably should have. But anyway, Bob, what I'm saying though is that
kid complain to a school nurse then either.
Bob,
Lady's going through my house looking to see if we had enough food. She goes, "You got any more?" Yeah, we got 2 fridges out in the garage. Here's some more food in the back. Take a look at my kids. You want to take their clothes off and analyze them? Like, get out of here.
Bob,
you should be kinder to your children. Get out of here, lady.
You and I
I'm
don't know.
trying to keep them from out of a group home later.
All that being said, Bob, you and I don't know if our kids say the Pledge of Allegiance every day.
That's
the part that I'm wondering about. If does that a reflection on us?
They even know what well, it's a reflection on the school. I mean, when I ask how your day was. What I should ask. Maybe I think I have asked this before. I'll have to get. I can't remember the answer, and maybe it's changed. I don't know.
So we'll find that out in the chat. If you have kids in school, elementary school, we'll say elementary school age. Like by the time you get to middle school,
yeah, we didn't do it in middle school.
I did it all the way through. Yeah, elementary school, I did it. Also, U.S. Open gets going today. I want to talk about that in the next segment, Bob. Go ahead.
What they're doing in that course. There's a listen to some of it this morning. That sounds terrible.
I've got a couple of things I want to share with you. And the next segment will be shorter because this will go longer because I've been pontificating about Pledge of Allegiance. But we'll do a segment. We'll do Golf Bob in the next segment. But like I say, we got Albert Breer at 7:05. Your Highness 7:40. Right now, though, Bob.
Oh, by the way.
Yes, please.
So, one of our great chatters, old Benzie, said, slow morning. So I decided to tally how many times Tito said Bob. I didn't want to venture.
Listen.
I was at the bank yesterday, and the guy who helped me had helped me a couple weeks before, and he goes, "I caught your show." You know, he found out one of the guys. What do you do? They ask a lot of questions. What do you do? And kind of explain, and then ask some follow-ups and whatever, and kind of arrived at what I did and like the history of my life. And I came in and said, "Hey, I caught your show." You know, it popped in to my algorithm, and I was like, "Yeah, well, we're talking about it, so your phone hears everything, so it doesn't surprise me." He said, "I really didn't watch a lot of sports, which is great." And he goes, "What do you like to go by?" I'm like, you know, because my license says Robert. Well, I've always gone by Bobby. That's why I introduced him. He's like, "We call you Bob a lot on the show."
Oh,
I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you. That was from him. I didn't even think about that until I got to this.
It's happened, Bob, in the chat before. People have said they've done a drinking game where how many times Tito says Bob.
Those people are all dead now.
Because I say Bob. I don't think it's that bad. Whatever. Focus on that if you want to. That's fine.
I don't care. It doesn't bother me.
Bob. There, 3 more. Take 3 more shots. Bob, make me smarter.
Line is over under 250 by Pete
I'll
Stanners.
take the over. Hey, Bob. Make me smarter, Bob.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
Bob, take it away.
Here we go. It is Thursday, June 18th, the 169th day of the year. $1.96 remaining in this 2026. This date, 1812. James Madison signs the Declaration of War against the British. What war do you think that was for, Jeff?
Spanish-American War. Oh, sorry. I got to put the mic on. Spanish-American War.
In 1812,
the War of
Madison
1812.
signed the Declaration.
I'm guessing it's the War of 1812. Now you said it a second time, Bob.
You know, they kind of put the
I got you. No, Bob, it was a mistake on my part.
There we go.
2 for 2. 2 days in a row.
This is great. I
I don't know
love
why
it.
it would do that, Bob.
Because the sound was on.
But
That's
I had
why.
sound off before I came in.
I don't know if you did. This date, 1815, Napoleon is defeated by the British at Waterloo, abdicating the throne for the second and final time. I need to watch that movie. Have you seen Napoleon? My parents liked it.
I don't think so.
It's Joaquin Phoenix as Napoleon.
Oh.
It's supposed to. They said it was pretty good. I think it's longer, but that doesn't bother me. This date, 1928. Amelia Earhart becomes the first woman to fly across the Atlantic. This date, 1938, Babe Ruth is signed as a coach for the Dodgers. 1940, Winston Churchill, one of the great orators and great leaders in the British Commonwealth history, delivers his finest hour speech.
What General Weygand has called the Battle of France is over. The Battle of Britain is about to begin. Upon this battle depends the survival of Christian civilization. Hitler knows that he will have to break us in this island or lose the war. If we can stand up to him, all Europe may be freed, and the life of the world may move forward into broad, sunlit upland. But if we fail, then the whole world, including the United States, including all that we have known and cared for, will sink into the abyss of a new dark age, made more sinister and perhaps more protracted by the lights of perverted science. Let us therefore brace ourselves to our duty, so bear ourselves that if the British Empire and its commonwealths last for 1,000 years, men will still say, this was their finest hour.
Did he say the United States into the abyss as well?
Sounds like he did.
He dropped that in there. Well, he was trying to get us to join the war because they were getting their butts kicked, and he knew that this was all of Europe was already overtaken by the Germans. They were literally the lone holdout. And give them credit. I mean, they held the beachfront there and did not submit. If they would have fallen to Hitler, it would have been over for Europe. That would have been brutal. Good job out of Winston rallying the troops over there. The Union Jack. This date, 1941, Joe Louis knocks out Billy Conn in the 13th for the heavyweight championship.
And getting through now with impunity here against Billy Conn, and he's gone over. Billy Conn on the floor in round 13.
There we go, down to the ground. 1960, Arnold Palmer shoots a .280 to win the 60th U.S. Open.
Then Palmer drops the putt and tosses his cap in the air as he wins with a sensational last round 65 and a score of 280. An amazing triumph with the most sensational rally in Open golf history.
Big Open Day. 67, Jack shoots a .274 to win the 67th.
Now, the Open is won. All that remains is to learn whether Jack will tie or break Hogan's Open scoring record. 2 putts for .276. 1 putt for .275. There it is, the lowest score ever made in the United States Open Championship. What a performance today. A 65 with 8 birdies, 9 threes, and a 2 on his card. Jack receives the prize check from USGA President Ward Fauché, and then He remembers he's a father, so he gives the check to the mother. So all those lovely little children can help their daddies celebrate another happy Father's Day.
Sounds great. Big Father's Day Friday or Sunday.
I was talking to Artie about this. So was Upper Arlington the Bears and then changed to Golden Bears?
No, someone called him the Bear unrelated to this.
Okay.
Unrelated to him knowing that Upper Arlington's mascot is the Bear.
Okay, but I'm saying, did Upper Arlington, when Jack was there, were they the Gold?
They were the Golden Bears.
When Jack was there, they were the Golden Bears.
But
Okay.
he was called that unrelated, believe me.
I'm
I
sure you
forget who I
checked,
was having this conversation with the other day about it. 5 years later, Jack wins it again with a 290 in the 72nd U.S. Open.
I have no audio for that one.
Oh,
Bob,
good.
Sorry.
That's fine. You just had one of them. I didn't know if you had them both or not.
Yeah, I just had the one.
Yeah, that's all good. This is even better, though, because in 77, Dreams by Fleetwood Mac hits number one.
I think she's a witch.
It's a pretty big statement.
No, but if you go back and look, I think that she is like Hocus Pocus, a witch.
And I really like Stevie Nicks.
So do I.
I'd probably let her smoke a cigarette and blow it in my face. And I don't even like cigarettes. I'm just being real.
Sorry,
this date, 1980. What does that have to do? There's no touching involved. This date, 1986, Don Sutton becomes the 19th pitcher to win 300 games.
1-2 the count to Gary Ward. 2 outs in the ninth. He's 1 strike away from 300 victories. He went around and it's over.
Who was the last pitcher to win 300 games?
Last one at 300? Oh, let me think.
I've asked you this before.
Maybe you have. Maddox? No, not Johnson. Randy Johnson.
There you go.
All right.
2009. He'll
Sutton.
probably be the last person to win.
He will be.
With 300 games. I mean, unless they give Verlander some HGH and get him going. He had a shot, but he's been hurt so much the last 4 or 5 years.
Sutton had a great perm for a while. One of those it was like after his
Soul
career.
Glow?
He had a perm. Yeah, Soul Glow was almost like that. Yes, and also got into a fight one time with Steve Garvey in the clubhouse when he was playing for the Dodgers back in '77 or '78. They got into a fight.
Like a Mark Sanchez fight?
It was that kind of fight, Bob, in the clubhouse. 2 teammates get
Better
into a
than
fight.
Rob Dibble and Lou Piniella?
It wasn't recorded, but
You're not a man.
Yeah. Steve Garvey had a bloodshot eye because Sutton made a comment about the fact that Garvey's fake, and he and his wife are just looking for publicity, and they got into a fight in the clubhouse.
That sounds great. This date, 2000. Tiger Woods, El Tigre, shoots a 272, winning the 100th U.S. Open.
And Tiger Woods is the 100th U.S. Open champion in history.
Pretty amazing there. And then some sad news. 2023, while looking to explore the wreckage of the Titanic, 5 folks are imploded in the Titan submarine.
We are learning new details about warnings raised before the Titan submersible imploded back in June of last year. The U.S. Coast Guard says the sub carrying 5 people suffered a catastrophic loss of pressure, killing everyone on board.
Well, Lindsay, David Lockridge, OceanGate's former director of marine operations, has been speaking today, and he was very critical. He said he repeatedly warned OceanGate, the owner, the maker of the Titan, of potential safety problems with the Titan years before its failed expedition in 2023, but he said his concerns were dismissed. He said he raised concerns about faulty and deficient equipment being used to build the hull and other parts of the Titan. He said, for example, that there were parts rigged up by CEO Stockton Rush in his garage. Now, Rush was one of the victims, and described how a PlayStation controller was used to operate the sub.
I don't know if the PlayStation controller is the issue, but the term rigged up. But what are you going to do? He was on the sub with him, so.
Yep.
One of the problems, Bobby, this wasn't reported. It's a tragedy, but that Kate Winslet actually encouraged this thing.
They were looking for that diamond necklace.
That's right. They were down there, and Kate Winslet, yeah, go ahead. You guys are fine. I'll stay up here.
In that
surface,
that painting.
Yep.
Of the French girls.
I'd rather the painting than the necklace.
Some birthdays today. One of the first great big men of all time. On this date, 1924 in NBA. Who would you say that is?
First great big man, I'd say, is probably George Mikan.
I would say you're correct in saying that. And the best thing is, when he passed away, I don't think he was in a great financial shape. The Diesel paid for his whole funeral costs and everything.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, Shaq Good guy. One of Shaq's head coaches with the Lakers. Maybe not as successful as some of the others. Del Harris, turning 89, still alive today. I think he always looks like Steve Martin.
Yeah, you're right.
Honestly,
Good call.
If they were going to have Del Harris in a movie, Steve Martin would play him.
Bob,
Del Harris, I feel like might kind of act like Steve Martin a little bit.
I've never heard that. I think Del Harris, Steve Martin both have had gray hairs since they were in their 30s.
Oh, yeah, full head. Just a solid silver mop.
Good call by you.
One of the all-time movie critics passing away about over a decade ago now, Roger Ebert, born on this date, 1942, and born on that same day, turning 84 today, the lead singer of Wings, maybe more notable with the Beatles, Mr. Paul McCartney.
Yesterday,
Bob.
All my troubles seem so far away.
I sang on a Saturday without you here.
It's okay. This date, turning 63 today, the all-time sack leader in NFL history, Thitoff.
Bruce Smith.
There you go.
This movie is rated R. Adult language and violence. Lots of it.
Bruce wanted to be the all-time sack leader from the very beginning.
Oh, baby! Oh, baby! Hammer time. Want that defensive player of the year now.
Bruce Smith has got him. He's got the record.
Great player. You know where he went to college? Isaiah?
Sorry. No, you go ahead. You do it. Go ahead.
Do you know who Bruce Smith is?
I know who he is.
Okay.
I've got
For the Bills.
I know the right state.
I'm going to guess Florida State.
Was
right
it
conference.
Virginia Tech?
Yeah, there you go. Good job, Virginia Tech alum. Blake Shelton turning the big 5-0 today.
I'll be your shade tree. You be my honeysuckle. I'll be your honeybee.
Is he still with Gwen?
I believe so. I love Gwen Stefani.
No, me too. Yeah.
And I believe those two kids are still together, which
I think they are too.
Yeah, they got married in 2021 and still together. So
that's a long marriage.
5-year run. Freddie Prinze Jr. and what's her name?
It's not Geller, is it?
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Is
Still
it
married.
really?
They've been married for 20 years.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Pretty sweet. I love doing that. Their birthday and talking about that. Antonio Gates, Kent State alum, 5-time All-Pro, turning 46, and passing away on this date, 2024. Maybe the greatest all-around baseball player of all time. The godfather of what many consider the greatest baseball player of all time, Mr. Willie Mays.
There's a long drive way back in center field. Way back. It is. Willie Mays just brought this crowd to its feet with a catch, which must have been an optical illusion to a lot of people.
Willie Mays Hayes here. You may run like Hayes,
but you hit like
Mays
yes. Willie Mays, Bob, by the way, he's like one of the poster children for like when people think athletes hang around too long, because we went back to the Mets.
He made like 22 All-Star games.
He did, yeah, because he used to play 2 in 1 year back when he used to play for a while there. But when he got to the Mets at the end of his career, after going from San Francisco,
he couldn't run anymore.
Well, there was like there's a video of him like stumbling in center field on like a routine kind of play, and people said he should have retired before that. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Bob? Does it bother you if an athlete hangs around too long?
That's their prerogative.
Yeah, that's
it's not. Everybody wants them to retire because you want to only remember them being great.
Right.
After they're done, nobody really remembers Michael Jordan with the Wizards. Nobody looks at Willie Mays with that.
With
you remember the best parts. Believe me, I'll tell you this 100%. Like, I've become a much better player since I got done playing than I ever was.
Older you were, the better you got.
Yeah. Well, you know what? No one remembers the bad stuff.
Right.
You only remember the good things. Now, the players remember the bad stuff, but like people are like, I should retire. I tarnish our memories. I'm like, well, if they want to play and someone's still willing to let them play, then you know what?
If they want to compete, do it.
That's their prerogative.
Yeah.
Unless it's doing something detrimental to them, but that's still their call. Some holidays and observances today. It is International Picnic Day, International Sushi Day, National Splurge Day, and World Tapas Day, which is always the third Thursday in June. And those are historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays, observances for this date, Thursday, June 18th, the 169th day of the year with a $1.96 remaining in this 2026.
Well done, as always, General. Last time either of you went on a traditional picnic, which means you and one other person, and
Why does it have to be one other?
Because I think that's what a picnic is. I think it's you.
Heads up.
I'm just saying, it's you and another person. and you spread out a blanket, and you've packed a picnic basket. When was the last time either of you went on a traditional picnic?
I don't know that I've ever been on a picnic.
You never have? Like, have you ever had a date on a picnic? Like a picnic date?
I mean, we've eaten outside and, like, had food, but I don't know that I packed a traditional picnic basket. My mom's got, like, 50 Longenberger baskets, which are worth nothing now, that I should start a fire with, but we were never allowed to touch them or take them or do any of that stuff. I think one of those she had was a picnic basket, but, I mean, I'm not Yogi Bear over here.
I know, a picnic. That would be a picnic, Bob, by the way. It's different. But I'm just saying, like, you've never said, like, hey, let's go on a picnic. I'll pick you up. We'll drive to a meadow. I've got this blanket. You've got to go, meadow. We'll drive to a meadow. We'll lay out the blanket, and we will sit there and enjoy a meal. You've never done that with a date.
I'm sure Court and I have, like, eaten outside on a blanket before. So if you count that as a picnic.
Not in the front yard. It's got to be in a meadow.
Probably in a park.
Okay.
Does a park count as a meadow?
A park, it could be. Parks are meadowy.
Not a lot of meadows in Columbus, Ohio.
I was going to say, I don't know if I could get to a meadow.
If I do it at my parents' house, like, they had like 40 acres, does that count as meadow?
Yeah, I think if it's 40 acres, yeah. I think if it's like 10 acres, no. If you have more than 10, if it's 11 acres or more, I think you could call that the meadow then at that point. Isaiah?
I don't own a picnic basket, but I've done a similar thing.
Put it in a cooler and bring it out there?
Yeah.
Does that count?
I've done a similar thing on the beach, I would say. It's probably the closest.
Okay, there you go. A beach or a meadow.
It out, did a little. It was like a charcuterie
board. What about a mountainside?
Ooh.
Oh, mountainside, I'm not sure on
that.
They
told us in West Virginia when we were hiking the New River Gorge, you can hike up and there's this unbelievable overlook. And the guy said, if you take your girl up there, it's going to end up really well for you. It's a beautiful scene, gorgeous scenery over the top, like sunsets over the gorge. It's unbelievable.
The good news, Bob, as you know this already from being with me for a while now, I'm a professional, so I'm not going to make some kind of comment about a mountain that maybe was broken, I don't know, on the backside that maybe you and Schlegs did a picnic at. I'm not going to do that because that's not my style. Nonetheless, coming up next, Bob, a streak in golf, because I know Golf Bob wants to talk about this, continues today, and I'm curious where you think it ranks among all the streaks in sports history. That's next. Morning Juice.
At QC Kinetics Columbus, patients find lasting joint pain relief. Regenerative treatments help repair damaged tissue. No surgery, downtime, or steroids.
So after I got done playing football, I still like to work out, go do all of the activities that I love so much. And unfortunately, I started having a little bit of pain in my knee. That's when I went and saw my friends at QC Kinetics. We were able to go in there, get the consultation, get treated, and now my knees, well, they're as good as new.
Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation. Better starts here.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
We have a desire and passion for great customer service. Every detail is important to us. From your first phone call to the end of the project, Newman is here to help you every step of the way. We're here to educate you so you understand what's happening with your roof. We're in your corner to help you be confident in your decision. After all, when your name is on it, it just means more. We are Newman.
Since 1969, Germain Toyota of Columbus has been delivering an exceptional experience to Central Ohio drivers. Whether it's versatile SUVs, stylish trucks, or efficient hybrids, Germain Toyota has a great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles at customer-friendly rates, backed by 2 years of maintenance with Toyota Care and same-day service from our trusted team of technicians. Experience the difference with every drive at Germain Toyota of Columbus.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan.
I'm Jeff Hogan. I've been a journalist at 10 TV for more than 20 years. I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. And that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it moves. It moves you to act, to speak up, or lend a hand. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at 10 TV, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Central Ohio.
Delaware County Veteran Services is a county office that faithfully assists veterans of Delaware County.
Although not the Department of Veterans Affairs, we help veterans and their dependents navigate through the process of applying for benefits administered by the VA, and we provide transportation to VA medical facilities. So if you're a military veteran or a spouse of a veteran, schedule your appointment today. A wide range of VA and local benefits may be available to you. Delaware County Veterans Services, conveniently located in the historic courthouse in Delaware.
Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
All right, Bob. A streak hits 100 today. Adam Scott is playing in his 100th consecutive major.
It's pretty impressive. That's 25 years.
So it is. And
like Arnold, what did I talk about? You weren't here. Arnold Palmer missed the cut at the U.S. Open for like the first time in like 32 years.
Right.
It was a couple weeks ago.
But it's 100 straight now for Adam Scott. And participating in a major, first you have to be eligible and qualified to do it, which certainly plays into it. Like, there's certain majors that you have to qualify for. You got to be like somebody who's either exempt or whatever it's going to be, nonetheless. But you also have to stay healthy.
Yeah, there's a lot of components. You have to be playing at a high level, and you have to stay healthy.
So he hits 100 this week when it tees off in about an hour and a half here is when Adam Scott makes it. Nicklaus has the record.
What is his, like 125?
146.
Oh, wow.
So he is 46
that's almost
shy of him.
30 years of majors.
I know, and that's amazing to me, Bob, is that Nicklaus did that. He said that he
that's like 35. It's 4 year. What was the number?
It's 4 year, 146.
That's like 30. Because
40 be 160.
Okay, yeah, 40 be 160. That's like probably 30. 16. Another 34 years of majors. That's pretty darn impressive.
Scott said that this year at the Memorial, he sought out Jack and got a picture taken with him. And
could have got that handshake.
Yes, if he was good. Anyway, Adam Scott said to Nicklaus, 100. I feel like it's an eternity, and I've got 46 more. I don't think I'll make that.
How old is he?
Adam Scott, he is 45 years old. 46 more, Bob?
Oh, my gosh.
You're talking damn near 60 now.
That's 10. Yeah, there's zero chance of that happening.
That would be tough.
He might be able to make one at 50, but you're not making like 4 at 50.
He said, I think there's some luck in it, but I think I've had generally great advice around me from a physical and training standpoint that's kept me healthy and pretty much injury-free. My head's still really in, like I should be able to compete and win these things, so maybe I don't see it as much of an accomplishment, but I guess if you ask someone who is at 2 majors, it seems like a long way away. The 2001 Open Championship, we call it the British Open because we are American, is when he started the streak. He was finished tied for 47th. Since then, he's at 20 top 10s. He did win the 2013 Masters, placed in the top 3 7 times, and he finished tied for 10th at the 2024 Open Championship. Last year at the U.S. Open, he's 1 stroke off the lead heading into the final day over at Oakmont. So 1 win in that number. And that's what I was wondering about, Bob, because it does seem like it's a – I don't know if it's how much of it's skill. You have to have skill to be able to qualify. There is, like you mentioned, Bob, there's certainly you have to be a competent golfer.
So a lot of people have never qualified for a single major.
Right.
He's qualified for 100.
But that's also the luck, staying healthy. I mean, how much is that? I don't know if luck's the right word, right? I mean, he takes care of himself.
We'll call it good fortune.
Okay, good fortune. That's a better way to put it, yes.
Someone, I forget who it was, it said the harder I work, the luckier I seem to get.
For him to break the record, he would tie it at the 2038 Masters.
Yeah, that ain't happening, Coach. You said he's what, 46?
He's 45 right now.
Yeah, that's...
2038 would be 12 years from now.
If he could keep this streak going for another 20 majors, I'd be impressed.
Yeah.
Through 50. Because the problem is you get older, your body just breaks down quicker, your recoveries, and your skill diminishes. Like you don't hit it as far, so you've got to be fundamentally better than at that point. So that's pretty darn impressive with him.
Something else with golf, because I know, Bob, that when you said this morning, you looked up and said, man, let's talk a lot of golf today. You know you want to. But the
you can
U.S.
pivot that into streaks in other sports. And, people always say, which is more impressive, a couple great seasons or someone that has longevity and is maybe never the best.
Right.
And, Adam Scott did win a Masters, which, that's putting you in some rarefied air right there. He did win a Masters, but people that have, like, in football, like a Terrell Davis or like a Maurice Claret at Ohio State, one phenomenal year.
Right.
Terrell Davis, 4 or 5 great seasons. Injuries derailed him. Maurice's career, it's documented what happened with that. Versus somebody that maybe plays
Frank Gore
for 4. Yeah, Frank Gore, who plays for 15 years, never really the best, always really good. But how do you weigh that against somebody who was like optimally elite for just a meteor, a flash, if you will?
Like Todd Gurley, your 1-year guys that were just incredible.
Chris Johnson.
Yep.
Guys that rushed for 2,000 yards, rushed for 1,800 yards, 1,700 yards, and then literally was like 800 the next year.
You had the guy from, was it Houston, that had the huge year as a running back and then went to, maybe going Dallas or Philly after that, and it was never the same. Just the high number of carries. It was like in the mid-2000s.
Arian Foster.
Arian Foster, yes. Okay, so what would you rather be, Bob? Would you rather have Frank Gore's career or Terrell Davis's career?
Well,
Davis, Hall of Famer. Gore should be the Hall of Fame.
Davis also won
2, right?
2 Super Bowls. So you have to exclude that. Like, you would have to talk about a guy who was great. Even, I would say DeMarco Murray might be a better example.
Okay.
It's a really good question. Because, like, Alden Smith, that's kind of what he was, who just passed away.
Passed away,
Versus someone like Clay Matthews Sr.
Hell of a career.
Who was great for a long time.
Still not in the Hall of Fame.
Still not in the Hall of Fame.
That's a travesty. But
I would probably rather have the 12 to 15 years of like longevity, steady play, really, really good.
Eddie George or Chris Johnson?
I'd rather have Eddie's than Chris.
I think I would too. And the fact he's on the Hall of Fame, I'm banging that drum nonetheless. But yeah, and that's where I look at it, Bob. It's like, yes, Eddie had a great run. He's got run to the ground. Like,
yeah, they gave him the ball 400 times a year.
Right, I know, and that's the part that.
That's honestly what kind of made him good, though, is he was a giant hammer. So it cuts a little both ways. Sitting there talking to my dad last night about Earl Campbell and and when he got traded and everything. There's these unbelievable stories, that he was telling me just about how he orchestrated it, and they'd fired Bum Phillips the year before, and how they were going to go to this 2-back offense. And my dad was like, "It's not going to work." He's like, "Earl's not very good until he gets to the 30th carry, so he's got to wear everybody down." And then they just get so sick of tackling him that all of a sudden it's like, then he just starts to wear on you and grind on you. So giving him 20 carries isn't functionally going to help him as a player anymore. It may preserve him, but you lose the element of what makes him special.
I was thinking about this today, Bob, because I did think about Earl Campbell yesterday, and I'm not going to tell you why, but I did. But I'm thinking 1980, which was about mid-career for Campbell's greatness.
1980, that was probably about the peak. Well,
77 was his first year, right? Or 78. 78 was his first year, right? Because he came in 78 draft.
Because my dad was in 77. 8, 9, 80. Yeah, so he had 81, 82, and after that he was kind of on
82 was a strike year where the numbers aren't great, but then he goes on. So
they went to New Orleans.
Right. 1980 was 46 years ago. So in 1980 we're having this conversation. You're talking about 1934. And so now I'm dating myself by saying all of this. But, folks, go back and watch Earl Campbell against the Miami Dolphins on Monday Night Football in the Astrodome. It's out there. It is the best NFL game you will ever watch. You've got the peak of the Monday Night Football announcers.
What year was that?
I think that was in 1978 when Campbell had the big game against Houston or against Miami where he may have scored 4 touchdowns. I know he had one long. That was back when they had those jerseys that you would tear away that would just I don't
know if they tore away. His ripped off.
Yes.
I don't remember a lot of jerseys tearing off.
But that's maybe the greatest Monday Night Football game ever is that one. And that's in the peak of when Love You Blue was a college atmosphere.
Yeah.
When everyone's out there with the pom-poms, it's incredibly loud in the Astrodome. But that game right there, though, folks, I'm telling you right now that if you have time to waste, which no one has more time to waste than I do, but go back and watch Dolphins and the Oilers in a Monday Night Football game back then. Howard Cosell had a great call in that game as well. But it's a fantastic watch on how good Earl Campbell really was, because Earl Campbell, Bob, we talked about this early. Earl Campbell did not get hit. He hit people. He was like Walter Payton. Walter Payton used to take pride in hitting other people and not being hit. Earl Campbell was the consummate pro of that. So anyway, coming up next, folks, we will do some quick hitters. Morning Juice.
I'm Meredith Garfalo, meteorologist at 10 TV News This Morning, and I'm an Ohio girl. I love golf, aerospace, and all things Ohio sports. For nearly 20 years, I've studied the patterns that shape our days, from winter wonders on the south side to dangerous storms along the I-71 corridor. When the weather changes, you'll be the first to know, because you need a forecast that moves as fast as you do. Make the move to 10 TV News This Morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
Do you need a bank that truly values local business in this town and the opportunity to work right alongside them as partners? Whether you're a small business or a large operation, Riverside Bank of Dublin has the right tools for the job. Riverside Bank of Dublin has the experience of working right here in Central Ohio. They understand the business climate in our area, and they're going to help you reach your goals. So whether you need an SBA loan to get your business off the ground, a line of credit to keep your business running smoothly, or equipment financing to get your business up to scale, Riverside Bank will tailor a solution that fits your needs. Visit them at riverside.bank or stop in to get to know them in person at 6300 France Road. Riverside Bank of Dublin, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
When you think of brands that are customer focused, one thing they all have in common is that their values and commitment to quality have been passed from one generation to the next. With 3 generations in the roofing industry, our family has built a reputation on honesty, transparency, and consistency. Our commitment to the customer will show through all of our team members as they make sure that every customer is completely satisfied. When it comes to your roofing needs, work with a company built around family. Call Newman Roofing today.
Delaware County Veteran Services is a county office that faithfully assists veterans of Delaware County. Although not the Department of Veterans Affairs, we help veterans and their dependents navigate through the process of applying for benefits administered by the VA, and we provide transportation to VA medical facilities. So if you're a military veteran or a spouse of a veteran, schedule your appointment today. A wide range of VA and local benefits may be available to you. Delaware County Veteran Services, conveniently located in the historic courthouse in Delaware.
What's up, Reed? Hey, Bone. Didn't we do a 5K fun run last year? Yeah, I think we did. Do you want to do it again this year? Sure. All right.
Registration for the Fan 5K is now open. Join your favorite personalities June 20th at Otterbein University. The Fan 5K features a medal, t-shirt, free race photos, and a post-race party.
Get your spot today at 971therace.com.
At QC Kinetics Columbus, patients find lasting joint pain relief. Regenerative treatments help repair damaged tissue. No surgery, downtime, or steroids.
Knee pain's something I lived with since the big game, and I'm all over surgeries. That's how I found QC Kinetics. I was able to get in, see the doctors, do the treatment, and get my knee feeling basically brand new. I can work out, run, most importantly, chase my son around the house and the yard, and do my job without any pain.
Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation. Better starts here.
We build a brand new studio just for Bobby, and Tito has already ruined it just by being here. I'm pregnant. This is Morning Juice.
Folks, that entire break was talking about Earl Campbell, which I love to do. I can't talk enough about Love You Blue in the Earl Campbell years in Houston with Dan Pastorini and then Ken Stabler.
Oh, Stabler was way better.
Well,
he had better stories.
Better story. Yeah, better story.
About
yes.
Stabler.
No, Stabler, undoubtedly, yes. Al Davis became fascinated with Dan Pastorini because of his arm. He always wanted to. Yes, he would throw it deep. My first image of Dan Pastorini is on the sidelines with a broken leg before an AFC wildcard game, I believe. I think it was Pastorini who broke his leg. Anyway, that's for a podcast for people that are older than me, or as old as me, I should say. But all right, Isaiah, let's take over. You do your thing with the quick hitters.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
All right, fellas, yesterday, some more audio comes out regarding Brenden Sorsby, this time from his agent on 105.3, The Fan, doing a little radio hit, talking about possibly the claim that the University of Cincinnati knew about all of this a long time ago. Here is the audio.
People I feel worse for, besides Brenden, is Texas Tech.
Where they messed up was they talked too much. Nobody knew any of this about Brenden. Nobody knew when he was in the portal this was happening. I mean, Brenden probably should have gone in the draft in January, right, if we would have known, but nobody knew. And they didn't do anything wrong here. If anybody should be questioned or be catching heat, it should be Cincinnati, because they knew for 2 years and never said anything and didn't do anything about it. So that's the part of the story that gets lost. And again, it's like, this is a 22-year-old kid who doesn't drink, doesn't smoke. He's had 2 girlfriends his entire life. He's at church every Sunday. He's a great human being, and I guess his biggest fault might be he's too giving.
He's too giving.
I mean, my goodness. Hold on. Your guy's 22-year-old kid. All right, we can.
Kids.
We can adjudicate the definition of kid.
Mm-hmm.
Say young man is probably more appropriate. He's had 2 girlfriends his entire life. I mean, is that consecutive or sequential? How did that work?
Right.
That's something to brag about, Tito?
Too? Hey, I'd like to be my wife, my girlfriend. There's two people around.
Yeah. So, but then he's like the real villain in this is they knew it and let it go on. Come on, man. You got to take some responsibility for yourself here. Now, is Cincinnati complicit in it? Sure, but on like the pie wheel of blame, Cincinnati's getting no more than a quarter slice, okay? Like, they're not he's like, well, we should have probably went in a year ago. We didn't know all this was dude, your guy knew he was gambling, and had gambled on his teams and still doing it. It was only a matter of time before he got caught. So I don't know how you're just going to throw all this on Cincinnati and make them the villain here.
Bob, every year I do my boys' trip to Vegas in September, and I will tell you this. I'm also very giving. I'm a giving person during those 4 days in Vegas. Like, I realized all I want to do is support other people. I end up giving away a lot of money. So to say Sorsby is giving, I guess I can hang on that. I can hang that on my put that on my resume too. Also, I'm a giving person, Bob. Cincinnati knew, didn't they?
Yeah, 100% they knew. But I'm also not going to put all the blame on them.
No,
they were complicit. They were what you would refer to. You're a big Law and Order guy.
Yes, I am.
A co-conspirator.
Co-conspirator. There we go. I think they would, but when you say co-conspirator, they probably think it means half conspirator. Is there another word you can use where, like, you're a third conspirator?
A semi-conspirator?
Is semi-conspirator different than co?
Superstitious, just a little stitious?
Just a little stitious.
Semi-stitious?
Bob, I think you stumbled up. I think it's semi-conspirator is how Cincinnati would rather be referred to, because co sounds like it was you and one person that murdered that guy. Or that one person did it and you covered it up, whatever it is. I'm just saying, though, semi-conspirator might be the better phrase.
Next one here, CBS came out with a list of the best and worst case scenarios for each NFL franchise. We'll focus on the Cleveland Browns in this one. The best case scenario, Shedeur Sanders wins the job, becomes the quarterback everybody wants him to be, but I want to focus on the worst case scenario here, which is Deshaun Watson wins the job over Sanders, but neither put together an awe-inspiring training camp. The Cleveland Browns wind up last in the AFC North once again and own one of the worst records in the NFL. So my question is, Bob, is it more important for the Browns to win games this year and maybe get like 8 wins or so but not find the guy, or to forego another season and just get the top pick?
Or to put in a second or third round sup pick on Brenden Sorsby?
Don't tempt me.
I would say if you're winning 8 games and not knowing who well, I guess you would know neither one of them are the guy, but the problem is then you've played your way out of a good opportunity. You have to use both picks to move up. It's more important to figure out who the quarterback is. You would rather have 5 or 6 wins and know you either have the guy or don't have the guy. You start crossing over around 500, then you're drafting at 17, 16, 18, and it's like, we have another pick, we can move up. How good is that Rams pick going to be? Probably in the 20s. I mean, it's going to take a lot of equity to get going and get up there. So it's more important for them to find out this year because they're not going to win anything of substance.
I've been saying all along, Bob, I think that if I'm the Browns, if I'm a Browns fan, which I am not, I would rather have
anymore.
That's okay. We're talking about that in a second. I do have someone to ask you about that. I would rather have 3 or 4 wins than 8 or 9 wins.
Yeah.
I think it's
better. I don't know
better.
if I want to be that bad, but
well,
sure.
But 3 or 4 though, you're picking up there at the top, and you can if you win 3 or 4 games, you don't have a franchise quarterback. regardless what the reason is. Either because Watson sucks and you don't believe in Sanders enough to put him in, or Sanders is in there and sucks and you know you don't have a franchise quarterback there.
I think you can have a franchise quarterback and win 3 or 4 games. I don't think this roster can win 3 or 4 games and have a franchise quarterback. Like Peyton Manning won, 4 games his rookie year?
I think it was 4, but that's different.
Why?
Well, it's different.
Okay.
Here we go again.
All right. Okay. Why did Sanders last till the 6th round?
Because he didn't. He was drafted in the 5th.
Okay, I'm sorry, 5th round. Why did Sanders last till the 5th round? That's a great point by you, Bob. Why did Sanders last till the 5th round?
It's a great conundrum. Is it because of his dad, his refusal to say he'd want to play for some teams?
Okay.
Is it talent? I don't know. There's a litany of reasons of why people fall.
Smart NFL people. I'm taking the liberty of saying, Bob, that NFL people are smart when it comes to roster construction, who to draft.
They don't make mistakes?
They make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes.
All right. Well, I'm just saying.
Sesame Street said everyone makes mistakes.
Let's
Why
not
can't
say
you?
that like these guys are perfect.
Okay. I would think that he would have gone before the 5th round if anybody believed that he has a chance to be a franchise quarterback.
What was that?
He would go before the 5th round.
Hold on. Oh, Tom Brady. Wait.
No.
What are you saying? Is that you in the 6th round over there? Tony Romo, free agent. Oh, what's going on? Sam Darnold, you went 14-3 and they didn't believe you're the franchise quarterback.
He went in the 1st round though. Saying something at that point.
Cut him.
Hey, Brady and Romo, absolutely, Bob. Johnny Unitas, great examples. But by and large, though, if you aren't drafted in the first couple of rounds, first 3 rounds, I would think at the latest.
It's true. But
So there's enough people that didn't.
Russell Wilson. There's also mistakes that happen. So I'm not saying. What do you think the reason was that he fell?
What do I think the reason was? I think that he did not have enough good tape against quality competition. I think he put.
I would say.
You think it's more about dad?
I'm not even saying his dad. I would say how he handled the pre-draft process.
Could be, yeah.
I'm not saying he was going to be a first rounder,
right?
But he was probably going to be a 2nd or a 3rd,
right?
Until he told teams, "I don't want to play for you." Who's interviewing who here?
Sure,
that
a mistake.
That was that. Once he said that to the Giants,
yeah,
people were like, "We're done."
But that's what I'm saying, Bob. Like Peyton Manning wouldn't do that and didn't do that.
Yeah,
he didn't do that, and that's part of the reason why I think that
his brother said he didn't want to play for the Chargers.
Right, no
so
doubt
how
about
is that. I mean,
well, yeah, but Peyton Manning or Eli Manning was never going to go though. He would not have slid to the 5th round or the 3rd round or the 2nd round. Eli Manning was never going to slide that far.
I don't think anybody thought Shador was going to slide that far either, Jeff. If you would have had some sort of odds on that happening, you would have made a $10 bet would have made you $1 million.
But the fact though that he did tells me more about how the NFL views him.
No, it tells you how he handled the process. Like you can't sit there on your pie chart and try to figure this out. Every team has their own unique reasons.
Sure.
But it's not going to be. There have been people that have done that in the past, and why they didn't slide or why they didn't. But nobody I know went in there and walked in, and they said he was so flippant with some of his answers in some of these meetings. That's what it causes you to fall. Maybe it's a combination of that and film.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a combination of that, film, and dad. But and we'll never know for sure in the metaverse of if he didn't do that, where he would have been drafted. But I'm fairly confident it would have probably been mid-2nd to mid-3rd. He was a day 2 guy.
When you look at it, when you've seen him play now, and we've seen some tape on him in the NFL, I know the Browns have not had the most talented roster.
I think the roster isn't bad. I think their quarterback situation has been atrocious.
If I asked you in 3 years, do you think Shador Sanders is a starting quarterback on a successful NFL team?
I don't believe that he's that good.
I don't either.
But that is just my opinion and my assessment. That's not saying that he couldn't be. It's like I'm trying to get in the head of other people of what they would do.
Right. I
think there could be times where if Shador was on a team, if you put him on the Arizona Cardinals, I think if they went 4 and whatever that would be,
13,
4-13, you could see enough to think that he might be your starting quarterback. Or you put him on the Miami Dolphins.
Right.
But the Cleveland Browns have a good defense. They have some weapons. Now, I don't know how good of a coach Todd Monken is because we've never seen it before.
Right.
But the roster around him is too good that if he plays well, they're not going to be an 8-win, 7, 8, 9-win team.
The biggest fear, I believe, for the Browns organization would be to end this season, upcoming season,
and not know.
Right, not know. Is Sanders a guy? Is Watson the guy? because I don't think Gabriel is. But I think that would be the biggest fear, though, is for the Browns to go into next season without knowing, the next draft, without knowing if they've got a franchise quarterback.
And it'll be difficult this year, too, if they do split them up. Like if Deshaun gets half the games and then Shedeur gets half the games,
right.
Are you going to really be able to prove and convince the Browns not to use their first-round pick this next season on a quarterback if you only play 7 games and maybe you win 3 of those games with the team around you? I don't know. It's going to be hard. If Shedeur doesn't start the season, he starts in Week 10 and gets 10 through 17.
Right.
It's going to be really difficult for him in
I
those
don't know.
games.
If you get 7 or 8 a sample size, that should be enough.
I guess Jackson Dart did last year.
Yeah.
And that had them
to
convinced
give you
enough.
enough that there's at least some hope that he could get it done. Will you know for certain? Probably not.
It's probably the most dangerous area, honestly.
It really is.
Is if he plays 7 games and he looks pretty good, and then the Browns decide, you know what, we're going to roll with Shedeur. And then that could either work well for you because then you can spend your first-round pick on Jeremiah Smith or a top weapon.
Right.
Or on the other hand, it's going to fail miserably.
And that's where I look at it, too. It's like I don't believe that Deshaun Watson is the future of the Browns at quarterback.
I'm not saying I believe it either. I'm just telling you scenarios of like how that's going to play. I'm trying to look at it through the eyes of the organization.
But if we all believe that Deshaun Watson...
Why did they draft him?
Why'd they draft Shedeur?
Yeah.
I think they drafted him as good value.
Exactly.
It was good
so
value
you
at
were
the time.
sitting there telling me why did he last till the 5th round? Because they believed he was probably a 3rd-round talent. They'd already taken a quarterback in the 3rd round. It's too good to pass up. Did you really need to buy that extra bag of Doritos? But it was buy one, get one.
No,
probably didn't need the first. But you know what? The second one was free, so we're going to go for it.
But that doesn't mean it was smart. That doesn't mean it's smart by me, Bob, to get that second bag of Doritos. But what I'm saying is, Bob, is that the fact that I don't think Deshaun Watson has a chance, in all likelihood, to be the starting quarterback for the Browns in 2027. I don't think Deshaun Watson will be the starting quarterback for the Browns in 2027. I don't believe. Look, absolutely, Bob, there's a chance he could take the team to the Super Bowl. No doubt he could do that, and that could change things dramatically. He could take them to the AFC Championship. That might change things. But I don't believe odds are that he does that. And so that's why I don't think Deshaun Watson's your starting quarterback in 2027. So in 2026, I would not be playing Deshaun Watson from week 1. I would throw Sanders out to the Wolves because I want to know if Sanders could be my 2027
and
quarterback.
I'm not debating that might not be the wisest choice.
That'd be the smart thing for the organization, yeah.
And it's like, and here's the thing that happens. Play your way out of getting drafted over. Because if you play well enough, then they can't pick somebody. That's what Justin Fields had to deal with in Chicago. Problem is he played well enough, and they won 9 games, and they had, I forget whose pick they had, and then they just used that to take
Caleb Williams.
But, Bob, when you look at it, though, it's like if the Browns are playing Deshaun Watson from week 1, and they say he's our starting quarterback this year, and I know it could change throughout the season, but let's say they go into it saying he's our starting quarterback this year. Mm-hmm. Does that tell you there's a lack of faith in Shedeur overall?
I think they view that Deshaun has a much better grip of the overall offense than just running an NFL system.
And I guess, too, the question is if Monken's the one calling the shots. For him, it's his first time head coaching. There's no guarantee how many seasons you get as a head coach in the NFL.
Sure. I told him that. He could get fired after this year.
Exactly. So if he believes that Deshaun can win him 8 games and get him a second year, it's in his best interest to start him rather than Shedeur, who could be the future, but at the same time, do we have faith?
Coming in next top of the hour, we will get Albert Breer on. Folks, I'm telling you right now, don't go anywhere because this next hour is the best hour we do all week long. That's all next. Albert Breer joins us. Morning Juice.
I'm Yolanda Harris. I'm a journalist at 10 TV News. I grew up here, and after 25 years of telling this community's stories, this place still means so much to me. When I'm not in the newsroom, I'm usually out supporting the same people and causes I care deeply about. I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all. And that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still. It moves. It moves you to act, to verify, to volunteer, to speak up, or lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at 10 TV, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Central Ohio.
Delaware County Veterans Services is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Give Delaware County Veterans Services a call, 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment.
At QC Kinetics Columbus, patients find lasting joint pain relief.
Hi, I'm Bobby Carpenter.
And I'm Jake Ballard.
And we are both QC Kinetics believers. We are both pain-free in the knees.
Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation.
We have a desire and passion for great customer service. Every detail is important to us. From your first phone call to the end of the project, Newman is here to help you every step of the way. We're here to educate you so you understand what's happening with your roof. We're in your corner to help you be confident in your decision. After all, when your name is on it, it just means more. We are Newman.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, ooh, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan.
Since 1969, Germain Toyota of Columbus has been delivering an exceptional experience to Central Ohio drivers. Whether it's versatile SUVs, stylish trucks, or efficient hybrids, Germain Toyota has a great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles at customer-friendly rates, backed by 2 years of maintenance with Toyota Care and same-day service from our trusted team of technicians. Experience the difference with every drive at Germain Toyota of Columbus.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite Fan shows? Oh no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now. Attack and dominate, YouTubers. You're locked into the Morning Juice.
Do you need a bank that truly values local business in this town and the opportunity to work alongside them as partners? So whether you're a small business or a large operation, Riverside Bank of Dublin, they've got the right tools for the job. Riverside Bank of Dublin has the experience of working right here locally in Central Ohio. They understand the business climate in our area. They're going to help you reach your goals. So whether it's an SBA loan to get your business off the ground, a line of credit to keep your business running smoothly, or equipment financing to help get your business up to scale, Riverside Bank will tailor a solution that fits your needs. Visit them at riverside.bank or stop in to get to know them in person at 6300 France Road. Riverside Bank of Dublin, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We'll get Albert Breer Hunter shortly. MMQB's Albert Breer. Get what's going on in the NFL. And I semi-tease this, Bob, but you made the comment when I talked about the fact that, Browns fans, and you said you used to be one to me, which is fair. Used to be a Browns fan. And then they left. They broke up with me. I went and had another relationship with another team. And so I'm a Steelers fan, no longer a Browns fan.
The fact that you picked, the Steelers of all the teams.
It's because I picked my wife, and her family are diehard Steeler fans. I got into it that way. Why do we...
Sounds like a Diddy party situation.
As a society... I don't... Bob, I'm thinking about my in-laws, father-in-law, mother-in-law, brother-in-law.
How they persuaded
no,
you?
Wait. And and then you turn to a Diddy party, and it really makes me uncomfortable.
Good. I'm sure those parties were uncomfortable.
Why do we as a society care about who roots for who?
We have to simulate adversity because our lives are so easy and soft that you have to care about something. We're not actually fighting anybody for real over here. And we haven't had an attack on American soil since 9/11, and then before that was Pearl Harbor. And then before that was, I don't know.
Wait, so
Civil War? That's us fighting each other. That was real adversity.
Wait, so that's we're
the
comparing
Blues versus the Grays.
Someone like me rooting for the Steelers, we're comparing it to 9/11 and the Civil War and Pearl Harbor.
Why do people care about that?
Right.
There is no inherent reason why you care about a team playing a sport that doesn't matter. It's the old Seinfeld reference. You're cheering for laundry.
Cheering for laundry is what
you
you're
make up these games, and we play them. We go out there and watch them. It's supposed to help enhance the culture of our society, I guess. But I mean, there's no real impact on what's being done.
Like, I don't mind. Like, I lean into the bit. That's fine. And every time it gets brought up that way, there's somebody in the chat or there's somebody social media that will make fun of the fact that I root for the Steelers and I used to be a Browns fan. And that's fine. I think it's all fun.
Can't beat 'em, join
I
'em.
enjoy doing it. I enjoy that kind of interaction. But I'm just like, I feel like, Bob, here locally, the only people I complain about as far as who they root for is when local people, and it's a what do we call it? What do you call it? Double banger? What is that? What Schlegel used to call it? What's a two-part question?
Two-banger?
A two-banger. It's a two-banger for me. If you root for Michigan and against Ohio State, both, but live here, that's the part that is always befuddling to me.
What if you're from there?
It doesn't matter, Bob.
Okay.
You can root for Michigan.
But inherently, that's their rival. So,
Bob, I'm not saying you have to root for Michigan or root for Ohio State against Michigan. I'm just saying in general, you can root for Michigan and not against Ohio State. Wouldn't you say economically it's better for us as a people, as a society in Central Ohio? It's better for us if Ohio State football is really damn good.
What does that have to do with it? All people, though. Like, it may help us in our occupation, in some people's jobs, but there's some that are non-contingent upon the success of Ohio State.
The general economy of the state, economically speaking, in the state.
How does that impact me if I have a job that's not impacted by that?
Well, Bob, you got to look big picture.
The answer is it doesn't.
Look big picture.
Why do I care about that?
I'm sure you know somebody who it impacts.
Of course, and it impacts me.
Sure it does.
But if it doesn't impact me, why do I care?
Because I care for the people.
Okay.
Speaking
You're the
of
most
people.
selfish person I know.
Exactly, which tells you why you should agree with me.
No, it tells me why.
WIFM. I do WIFU. What's in it? Not FU, sorry. What's in it for us? What's in it for us right now, though? Albert Breer, this guy joins us here. MMQB's Albert Breer. Good morning, Albert. Thanks for taking the time to join us today. And only a couple things have happened with the Sorsby case since we last spoke. Will Sorsby get drafted in the supplemental draft?
He will. I think it's a matter of how high. And I think that's always a moving target. I think there's an opportunity there for someone, and it just depends on how you see him as a player. But I think a lot of people feel like he had a chance to play himself into being a high first-round pick next year if he had played in college and none of this had happened. Now, it did happen, which means you lose the year of refinement that he would have gotten from playing at Texas Tech. You lose the 12 to whatever it would be, 16 games of experience that he would have gotten if he had played at Texas Tech. And of course you have to now you have to work through some of the character stuff, that's tied to the gambling scandal. So there's a lot to work through. There's a lot to vet, but there's also a lot of high-end potential there, So I think, personally, he would have been in the same category as an Arch Manning or a CJ Carr going into this year, where the ceiling's really high. Lenore Sellers would be in that category too, where the ceiling's really high, but there's a lot of polish that's needed. I think Dante Moore's in a little bit of a separate category. I think he's a little further along than those guys. So now lacking that, are you willing to throw a second-round pick at it? I think that's the question a lot of teams are asking themselves now, because here's the flip side. If you're, the Browns, or the Dolphins, or the Jets, or the Cardinals, team that didn't go all in on a quarterback in the 2026 draft, well then, if you roll the dice and take him with the second here and you hit, and you're going to have 6, 7, 8 months to figure out whether or not you hit or missed on him, then you can turn around and spend a top 5 pick next year on someone like Jeremiah Smith. So it's intriguing. It's interesting. I can't remember one like this, going into the supplemental draft at the time I've covered the league. And I think you'd probably have to go back to Steve Walsh to find a case like this. Maybe Dave Brown when he came out of Duke in 1992.
So it's kind of, interesting, a couple of tentacles with that, Albert. And so, because you just can throw out a supplemental pick, and obviously there's a corresponding compensation from the following year. But if he's this talented, what wouldn't stop teams? I mean, you'd have to imagine that there's probably 15 teams that would say there's value with him at a fourth-round pick at minimum. So do you think there'll be that many teams that would even throw that? I know some teams may throw a second or a third.
I mean, it's like the old Ron Wolf thing, Bobby. Like I always think it's good business to do this at that position, And you remember when the Packers had Brett Favre, they kept drafting quarterbacks, So it was Mark Brunell, it was Matt Hasselbeck, it was Aaron Brooks, Ty Detmer. They drafted and drafted and drafted, and they were able to, get draft picks for Hasselbeck. They were able to get draft picks for Brunell. They were able to get draft picks for Brooks. So I always think that that's good business to do that. And so, I mean, yeah, if you're one of these other teams if you're one that doesn't need one, you know what? Like, I mean, why not throw a 4th or a 5th round pick at it if you really like him and you think you have a chance to develop him into a high-end guy? Now, there are some teams you can probably cross off that list, right? Like, so, if you're Chicago or New England or Washington, and you got a really good young one, maybe you don't do it. But, I think there are a ton of teams that could look at this. Like, I mean, for example, a Seattle or a Tampa, like where you've got your guy at a discounted rate now, but you may have to pay him down the line. And do you want to develop somebody behind him in case things go the wrong way there? Like those are cases too, where, you go beyond the teams that really need a quarterback. There are going to be other teams where they could look at it and say, well, like a year or two from now, it might be really valuable to have a guy like this. And again, maybe that team doesn't spend a 2, but maybe that team is willing to throw a 4 or a 5 out there for him.
So one of the other elements of this, Albert, number one, he's coming in the supplemental draft, so you're losing all of your OTAs in spring, so he's going to be behind it at a very critical position. So you wanted the development there that he would have. And then also, is there any type of understanding, is the league reviewing this right now as to what, if any type of penalty? This isn't like an amateur situation with the Terrell Pryor, and they still adjudicated that. I mean, the NFL has been pretty firm on any type of gambling issues that have happened. They have been fairly punitive. I mean, whether it's guys, the Jameis Williams situation when he's betting apparently in the parking lot, allegedly in Detroit, and getting 6 games for that versus a guy who is betting on his own team and has been doing a lot of things that the NFL would highly frown upon. Is there any understanding of what that penalty, if any, could look like?
Yeah, I mean, this would be hard because, like, he wasn't with an NFL team then. So, does the NFL have the jurisdiction to penalize him? Does the NFL want to go through some protracted legal battle, or do they want to work something out beforehand? And I believe I have to go back and look this up, but I think the NFL worked that out with Pryor. And like they had agreed upon a 5-game suspension, and then Terrell for some reason wound up turning around and appealing it anyway. But like that was sort of negotiated. And the reason the NFL wanted to negotiate that with Pryor was because they knew like if there was a legal challenge, it might be a problem for them. But also they wanted to make sure that in future cases, the NFL wouldn't be seen as safe harbor for players that got in trouble the way that Pryor did, So I think the same thing would apply here. They probably would want to create some sort of deterrent for guys, like where, some guy places 2,000 bets on his phone and is thinking to himself, well, like if I get thrown out of school, I can just enter the supplemental draft. Like they want to, I'm sure, create some sort of deterrent that tells players like, no, we're not your safe haven, And so I could certainly see them trying to work something out with Brenden Sorsby and his people there. And maybe there's something that can be negotiated because truth be told, like Sorsby's people did actually try to negotiate, a suspension with the NCAA. The NCAA wouldn't do it, but they tried to negotiate a suspension with the NCAA. So I could see where they would go down that road with the NFL just to get this settled ahead of time. One key that I think would be really interesting here is do they treat this as a personal conduct case or they treat this as a drug case? The difference is in cases of personal conduct, right? Those guys cannot be in the building. So they can't take part in practice. They can't take part in meetings. They can't be around their teammates, none of it while they're suspended. In a drug case, those guys can be in the building. And so, I think you could easily make the argument that since this is a case of addiction, the guy could, it would help the guy to be around his teammates. It would help the guy to get treatment in the facility under the care of the team. And So that would be another key to, how a suspension, could potentially be negotiated.
MMQB's Albert Breer joining us here on Morning Juice. Albert, do you think there's a team or many teams that if they knew this was going to be a possibility of getting Sorsby in a supplemental draft would have done their draft differently in April?
No, because I think no, because first of all, we didn't have. I mean, we had two quarterbacks in the first two rounds, right? So then you had Carson Beck. Like, if the Cardinals knew, maybe if let's say the Cardinals like Brenden Sorsby more than Carson Beck, then maybe they don't take Carson Beck. But even then, this is a blind auction type of scenario in July, so you can't be sure that you're going to get him. Say we're going to throw the same pick out there, 3rd round pick. Like, you can't be sure that that's going to land him for you. So I think just because of how the draft went, probably not. And I think that there were a lot of teams that were already approaching it that way, Tito. Like, I think, a lot of the teams that were looking at it were, when they were looking at, and obviously Fernando Mendoza was off the board for everyone except for one team. But when a lot of teams were vetting guys like Ty Simpson, they were looking at him and Carson Beck and Drew Aller and, all the guys that were drafted, over that weekend versus the 2027 quarterbacks anyway. So Sorsby was part of that equation for all of those teams, So I don't think it would have made a big difference for anybody. At least that's the way I see it.
Are the Bears moved to Indiana final at this point, or is there any hope that they would stay in Illinois? And how did this get so awry for the city of Chicago?
I don't think it's final. Until there are shovels in the ground. And even then, I think there's still room for negotiation here. Bobby, I think this really goes back to the NFL wanting the valuations of their teams to rise, the NFL wanting all of these palaces. And you see it. I mean, you see the way that all the people coming over from Europe are reacting to seeing our stadiums. Like, they really are. I mean, these places are palaces, and that's all by design that it is that way. I've been to some of the soccer stadiums in Europe, and even the newer ones, they're nice, but they're not like what we have, and that's part of the NFL's model is they want these palaces. Well, it costs a lot of money to build those palaces. And so, if you're going to build them, you're probably not going to build them for just 10 football games. So you're going to put a roof over it. You're going to put, the fake surface down. I think as these have become money-making ventures for the owners, right? And as the owners, I think, have become more cutthroat, I think they sort of view themselves as real estate developers. I know that's a weird thing to say, but there's a reason why a lot of these stadiums now are being built in the suburbs with retail and, residential property around them is, the owners are looking at it and saying, well, I can build it in the middle of a city. And, that's good and fun and all of that. Maybe it's what's best for our fans. But if I build it in the suburbs and I have a bunch of land out there that I can develop around it, well, then I can develop a bunch of businesses. I can develop a bunch of property around it and capitalize on that without having to share that money with the players. So that's sort of how we got where we got with a lot of these deals. And then the other part of it, of course, is that, this is these teams pitting states against each other, and this has been going on for a long time. The Commanders have been pitting DC and Virginia and Maryland against each other. The Patriots, if you go way back in the day, they almost moved to Hartford, right? And Connecticut and Rhode Island were both in play to build stadiums for the Patriots so they could get a better deal from Massachusetts. In Kansas City, you're seeing it now. The Chiefs are planning to build a stadium as it stands right now in Kansas because the Chiefs used Kansas against Missouri for leverage. So these things are happening over and over and over again. You saw it in Carolina with the practice facility, for Christ's sake. They were going to move the practice facility to South Carolina until that deal fell through. This is, I think, a combination of the real estate development end of it and pitting states against each other. And my guess would be they wind up going. they wind up building in Indiana, but I don't think that's anywhere close to 100% now. I think Illinois still got a chance to get him back. And you know what really sucks about this, guys? One nuance to the Knicks thing, right? Like, and why that was such a big deal in New York. I mean, they're the only team that plays in Manhattan, right? Yeah. So the Yankees are in the Bronx, the Mets, the Mets are in Queens. Obviously you've got the Nets in Brooklyn, the Giants and Jets are in Jersey. The Knicks are the only one that's in Manhattan. And there's something about that. And there's something about that I think exists because of that just the atmosphere around the games and when they're making a run, what it means to the people. And I think you saw that in Chicago last year, that Saturday night, that playoff game against the Packers was incredible. Like that scene, seeing that scene on TV, it was incredible. And that's what you're giving up when you're going out to the suburbs.
We'll get you out here on this one. I know that there's been a lot of talk about the fact that the World Cup's got to be played on grass surfaces, and all this grass is being rolled in. And players I know in the NFL have come out and said they'd rather play on grass than on turf. When all the negotiations are going on coming up, I know the owners want 18 games or maybe 20 games and 16 or 15, whatever international games, whatever the number's going to be. All those things the owners want. How important is it to the players to try to get is that a hill they will die on, trying to get grass surfaces in all the stadiums?
I mean, maybe not as important as money, but I think it does matter to the executive director, and that's J.C. Treader, because when he was the president and still a player, he was the president of the NFLPA. It was something that he drove hard at. And I mean, look, there's the smoking gun is out there, and I've said this to you guys before. 32 out of 32 teams practice on grass. And these are teams that are run by coaches that will do everything, like any little detail they can get to prepare their players for games, they will dig into, right? So I can remember, seeing teams bringing tennis rackets out to simulate J.J. Watt batting down balls. The thing you see everywhere is the crowd noise being piped in. I've seen teams practice inside their bubble because they want the effect of the noise bouncing off the walls and all of that different stuff. They do all these things to prepare for what they're going to be what they're going to be faced with on Sunday. Yet 32 out of 32 teams practice on grass, even when they're getting ready to play on turf. Why do you think that is? I mean, it's obvious. It's better for the players to be on grass. And so you wish this was just here's what's best for the players thing. Unfortunately, that's not what it is. And the economics of the stadiums are obviously a huge piece of it, the stuff that I just went through. And the reality is that there is a way to do this, there is a way to have grass area. It just costs a lot of money to do it, And so I think a lot of this is going to boil down to where the money comes from to fund that. Is it coming out of, maybe some of it's coming out of the players' cut of the revenue? Is it something that's funded by the teams? That's what needs to be negotiated. And if it is coming out of the players' cut of the revenue, obviously that's a concession from the players. Or are the players giving up something else to get it? Because we know that the owners use everything as a chip in these negotiations. So it's a little complicated on that end, but the simple part is a simple part, and that's that. I mean, almost every player, any player that I've ever talked to has said that they would prefer to play on grass.
Appreciate the time as always, Albert. We'll talk again next week.
All right, thanks, guys.
That was Albert Breer, MMQB, is joining us there. Coming up next, Bobby, an NFL quarterback, doubles down on something he said earlier. We'll talk about that next. Morning Juice.
Do you need a bank that truly values local business in this town and the opportunity to work right alongside them as partners? Whether you're a small business or a large operation, Riverside Bank of Dublin has the right tools for the job. Riverside Bank of Dublin has the experience of working right here in Central Ohio. They understand the business climate in our area, and they're going to help you reach your goals. So whether you need an SBA loan to get your business off the ground, a line of credit to keep your business running smoothly, or equipment financing to get your business up to scale, Riverside Bank will tailor a solution that fits your needs. Visit them at riverside.bank or stop in to get to know them in person at 6300 France Road. Riverside Bank of Dublin, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
I'm Breer Albizu, traffic anchor for 10 TV News this morning. Columbus is quickly becoming my home, and this community has welcomed me with open arms. My mission is simple, to help you get to where you're going quickly and safely. Whether it's helping you beat the slowdown on 270 or giving you detours around major construction, we've got you covered. Because when your morning's on the move, so are we. Make the move to 10 TV News this morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
When you think of brands that are customer focused, one thing they all have in common is that their values and commitment to quality have been passed from one generation to the next. With 3 generations in the roofing industry, our family has built a reputation on honesty, transparency, and consistency. Our commitment to the customer will show through all of our team members as they make sure that every customer is completely satisfied. When it comes to your roofing needs, work with a company built around family. Call Newman Roofing today.
Since 1969, Germain Toyota of Columbus has been delivering an exceptional experience to Central Ohio drivers. Whether it's versatile SUVs, stylish trucks, or efficient hybrids, Germain Toyota has a great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles at customer-friendly rates, backed by 2 years of maintenance with Toyota Care and same-day service from our trusted team of technicians. Experience the difference with every drive at Germain Toyota of Columbus.
Delaware County Veteran Services is a county office that faithfully assists veterans of Delaware County. Although not the Department of Veterans Affairs, we help veterans and their dependents navigate through the process of applying for benefits administered by the VA, and we provide transportation to VA medical facilities. So if you're a military veteran or a spouse of a veteran, schedule your appointment today. A wide range of VA and local benefits may be available to you. Delaware County Veteran Services, conveniently located in the historic courthouse in Delaware.
At QC Kinetics Columbus, patients find lasting joint pain relief. Regenerative treatments help repair damaged tissue. No surgery, downtime, or steroids.
So after I got done playing football, I still like to work out, go do all of the activities that I love so much. And unfortunately, I started having a little bit of pain in my knee. That's when I went and saw my friends at QC Kinetics. We were able to go in there, get the consultation, get treated, and now my knees, well, they're as good as new.
Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation. Better starts here.
Bobby's knees hurt from doing battle with some of football's toughest warriors. Tito's knees hurt from begging Bobby to let him host this show.
Oh, pick me! Oh, I know, me!
This is Morning Juice.
Morning Juice. Thank you to Albert Breer for joining us there, the Bryan Heating Cooling System fan guest. I don't know, video line, Bob. I still never got confirmation. Bryant pays for like the hotline, like they support the hotline, they sponsor the hotline.
Yeah, is that a hotline?
That's no one's told me.
It's the VMix line.
That's what I've asked the question. So I don't know if I'm supposed to say that or not. Are they selling it?
I don't know.
Or do we have to just do it because it's blanket? I don't know.
Unknown. Get a little guidance on that. Be terrific.
What do you think, Isaiah? Do you think that we should call it the Bryant Heating Cooling System fan guest video line?
I think it should be its own thing.
I do too. Revenue stream.
Mm-hmm.
I won't see any of it.
Sell the VMix line.
Yeah, that's what you should do, yes. Bob, Joe Burrow in the offseason said this is the most talented roster he's had since being at Cincinnati.
Remind him of his LSU team, I heard.
That's where we're going here, Bob. First, I wanted to back up on that first thing I said. That was that, this is a team that under Joe Burrow's leadership has been to a Super Bowl. And he's saying this year's team is more talented, the most talented one he's been around at Cincinnati. I felt that that was an awfully bold statement to make. I'm not saying he's not right, but to say that when you've been to a Super Bowl, it just puts an expectation on this year's team. Now Burrow says, you go back and watch what I said before the 2019 season at LSU. I feel very similarly about this team. I'm so excited to get started and get moving. I wish we ramped this right into training camp so we continue to improve. I feel like there's so much greatness we'll be able to achieve this year, and I'm just excited to get going. So Burrow has now said this team is more talented than his Super Bowl team, and has also said this feels like my national championship run at LSU, which was a fantastic season for Burrow and the Tigers. Statistically, success on the field, obviously winning that whole title. This, Bob, I can't tell if it's hyperbole. I can't tell if it's smart for Burrow to do this, because it is putting a lot of pressure on his team and Zach Taylor, isn't it?
Think so?
I would look if you come out and say, "Hey," because we know Burrow's not going anywhere.
What, saying that you think this is the best team you've had, and You've been to a Super Bowl, so that would be the baseline expectation.
I think it's saying that.
Why would that be pressure?
It's putting a lot of pressure to say this.
Why would that be pressure?
Because
best team since maybe what some people say is the most. Maybe what some people. I'm not saying it. There are people.
There's
that
your
are
Trump.
saying
Here we
it.
go. Here's the Trump.
People that are saying it. That one of the best college football teams of all time.
Yeah.
2 All-Pro receivers on there, a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, first overall pick.
You've said it's the most talented team you've been on in the NFL ranks.
Some people are saying it.
Burrow said that.
Maybe the best ever.
Burrow said it's the most talented, and Burrow also said this reminds him of that team. So if it does not perform at those levels, if they don't make a run of the playoffs, if they don't win the title like LSU did, that doesn't fall on Burrow. That falls on Zach Taylor, doesn't it?
Well, what if Joe Burrow gets hurt?
Well, if he gets hurt, that's a totally. I'm talking. If he stays healthy though, and this team,
we got to get some qualifiers.
Okay, there's qualifiers. Fine, Bob. You're right. If Burrow all of a sudden, let's say Burrow got maimed and lost an arm, or Chubb lost a hand.
Whatever. Do that to him.
I'm just saying if that happens, yes, that would certainly
rolled ankle or something.
That would change the narrative. I know I didn't mean to amputate.
Didn't have to have alligator bit his damn hand off.
You're right. Well, if it's non-throwing
down
hand,
in his prime.
Non-throwing hand.
Non-throwing hand.
That's different, right? If it's a non-throwing hand, you should still be okay.
Gosh, who was the kicker? Who kicked with? Was
Tom
it
Dempsey?
Dempsey, yeah.
He had half a foot, half an arm.
Club.
Yeah, he had half a foot, half an arm.
I mean,
which is cheating. Is it? Wait, if you've got a foot that's cut off like a square, is it easier or harder to be successful as a kicker? Oh, I'm so glad Isaiah's here.
That's a great question.
Because he's an athlete.
Oh, I thought you meant because he had half a foot. He had half a foot.
No, he's got 3/4 of a foot.
I was waiting. I'm like, I'm so glad Isaiah's here. I'm like, does he have a prosthetic that I'm not aware of?
It's not like working with Nate where I got to worry about, hey, Nate, what do you think about this kicker's athleticism? Or me, for that matter.
The reality is Burrow's hyping this thing up. He feels like they've got a very good team.
Right.
When he was speaking of his golf outing, he was saying the same thing. So he's seen enough in OTAs, and he's been in the league now, 7 years?
Right.
Like, you've seen enough to understand what's good and what's not. I'm telling you, like, after my 3rd or 4th year in the league, start to see enough teams in the offseason, like, okay, we're talented.
Right.
We don't know necessarily what you're going to be, but, like, man, we've got a chance to be pretty darn good. You start looking at some of the players that you have, how healthy they are, where they're at in their careers. Then if you're like, do we have competent coaches? That's a whole nother bit. But you kind of can understand that coming in. And it doesn't mean people are like, I think we had this kind of, you don't believe you can win every game. It's not that you don't believe you can win every game. You believe like you have a pathway that's significantly easier. Like you always believe you can win every game. Sometimes it's like, it's a narrow road. You might be like Nick Wallenda, tightrope walking across Niagara Falls to get that W. Sometimes you could be like Bo Duke driving all over the road, or the old boy in the Swayze movie,
Roadhouse.
Devil Nickel Roadhouse, just swerving all over the road. You get a lot of space because you're so good. So you can make mistakes because you're so good that you can make up for them.
Okay, but if the Bengals go 6-11 this year, and by the way, Isaiah, I'm going to come back to you for the answer on the squared off foot. But if the Bengals go 6-11 this year, there's a greater chance of Zach Taylor being gone than Joe Burrow. Fair?
What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. No,
greater chance. They're not getting rid of Joe Burrow.
That's what I'm saying. That's my whole point,
Unless
Bob.
Joe Burrow, they find out that him and Brenden Sorsby were they're gambling together on their teams. Joe Burrow is going to be the quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals.
Absolutely.
Or unless he gets his hand bit off by an alligator. Those are
non-throwing
basically
hand. Throwing hand's different. Non-throwing hand.
There is zero chance that Joe Burrow is going to be move on from him before Zach Taylor. Let's be real about that.
All of these things Burrow is saying, though, Bob, he's writing checks he doesn't have to cash.
He does have to cash them. Because if he plays poorly, not that I anticipate he will, because he's a consummate professional, prepared. You've never watched him go out there and play poorly.
Yeah.
And even last year he came in, he played well at the end of the season. He's like, I'm playing. I bet Cincinnati probably didn't even want him to play. He's like, I'm playing. Yeah. I'm healthy. The games don't matter to me. I want to go out there and play. You're paying me to play football.
100%. But all I'm saying is because Burrow's making these comments, so like this feels like 2019 LSU. This is the most talented team I've been on. We go out and go 6-11. We know Burrow's back next year. Zach Taylor maybe not. Which I'm just asking, Bob, are these things he's saying, and he may completely believe them? Totally might believe everything he's saying. I don't know why I wouldn't think he would. He believes all of these things. If the team fails, Burrow's back next year, Chase is back next year, Higgins is back next year.
Is there anything else obvious that you want to point out? They're not getting rid of any of their Pro Bowl players.
I know, Bob. I'm asking, is this Burrow, though? Is he putting more pressure on Zach Taylor
Mike
than
Brown's
if he
back
wouldn't have
as
said
the owner?
these? Than if he wouldn't have said these, though. If he doesn't say these things, if he just says, hey, we got a really good team.
No, I think I do believe that he supports Zach Taylor.
Okay.
I think he supports him in public, and I do believe that he supports him within the Bengals organization. If he came out and made some comments about, this offseason, I think we need to reevaluate how we're looking at the offense, or he hasn't said any of that. He's never once been like hypercritical, even really of his protection. Like he owns it all, and from my understanding of it, I don't believe that that's going on behind closed doors either. So I think that he has the people that he wants to be there are there.
Isaiah, baseball pitchers sometimes have Tommy John surgery when they don't need it. Like early in career, well, guy Tommy John surgery didn't need it. He knows we'll get it at some point. If you could kick further with a squared off foot like Tom Dempsey did, would you encourage somebody to get their toes cut off to be an NFL kicker?
That's a great question. I would, if I was guaranteed to be an NFL kicker, I would cut my toes off.
You would cut your toes off?
100%.
Would you, Bob?
I mean, dude, if you're going to kick for 20 years,
make
he's
a
got
lot of
pretty
money.
good life.
Okay, I say you're Morton Anderson.
Like $4 million a year.
That's what I was thinking.
20 years. By the way, I know what those guys do during practice, and it's nothing.
They smoke and drink.
I mean, literally, when we were there in Oxnard, I would watch those guys take their golf clubs and go jump and go. Like when I'm going to take a nap, they're going to play 9 holes of golf because there's a golf course beside our hotel.
Do you guys think the squared off foot makes it easier to kick or not?
I don't know. I mean, he had the longest kick
63
for a long
yards
time.
was the record for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, now I don't know it would be as advantageous, but
I don't know all the physics behind kicking, like the football stuff. Like as for kicking a football, is it better to have your foot completely intact and do that like soccer style thing, or would you better off going straight on with a squared off foot?
Yeah, I don't know which way you can swing your foot harder, straight on.
Good question. Yeah,
the soccer style.
Well, but if you've got a wooden foot, straight on might make it a little better.
It might. All right, folks, coming up next, I'm glad we got to a resolution on that one. It is a Thursday. It is a non-Brody Thursday. He's not here. We'll have Your Highness next. Also tell us what's got us juice. That'll be next. Morning Juice.
At QC Kinetics Columbus, patients find lasting joint pain relief. Regenerative treatments help repair damaged tissue. No surgery, downtime, or steroids.
Knee pain's something I lived with since the big game, and I'm all over surgeries. That's how I found QC Kinetics. I was able to get in, see the doctors, do the treatment, and get my knee feeling basically brand new. I can work out, run, most importantly, chase my son around the house and the yard, and do my job without any pain.
Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation. Better starts here.
I'm Tracy Townsend, anchor at 10 TV News This Morning. This community is my home, and it means everything to me. I care deeply about the stories we bring you each day, especially the ones that truly impact your life, from women's health and advocacy to the decisions happening at the State House. My goal is simple: help you feel informed and connected, because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to 10 TV News This Morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
Delaware County Veterans Services is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Give Delaware County Veterans Services a call, 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment.
Since 1969, Germain Toyota of Columbus has been delivering an exceptional experience to Central Ohio drivers. Whether it's versatile SUVs, stylish trucks, or efficient hybrids, Germain Toyota has a great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles at customer-friendly rates, backed by 2 years of maintenance with Toyota Care and same-day service from our trusted team of technicians. Experience the difference with every drive at Germain Toyota of Columbus.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
Do you need a bank that truly values local business in this town and the opportunity to work right alongside them as partners? Whether you're a small business or a large operation, Riverside Bank of Dublin has the right tools for the job. Riverside Bank of Dublin has the experience of working right here in Central Ohio. They understand the business climate in our area, and they're going to help you reach your goals. So whether you need an SBA loan to get your business off the ground, a line of credit to keep your business running smoothly, or equipment financing to get your business up to scale, Riverside Bank will tailor a solution that fits your needs. Visit them at riverside.bank or stop in to get to know them in person at 6300 France Road. Riverside Bank of Dublin, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We have a desire and passion for great customer service. Every detail is important to us. From your first phone call to the end of the project, Newman is here to help you every step of the way. We're here to educate you so you understand what's happening with your roof. We're in your corner to help you be confident in your decision. After all, when your name is on it, it just means more. We are Newman.
One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Mics were off there, right? I want to make sure before we go further.
Me and Bob's were.
Okay. That's not good news. Anyway, look at this guy. Chad at WeWinUwin.com. Your Highness joins us like he does every Thursday at Shut Up and Bet on the YouTubes. Good morning, Your Highness. What do you want to say to the people of Columbus?
Good morning to the 614. How we cracking in there in Central Ohio? Let's get on the right foot and do the wrong thing, baby. Father's Day around the corner.
You're a father?
Mailbox. See, well, this is the deal. Every year I go out to the mailbox, I open mailbox, no card. We're good to go. Keep on pushing, player.
Okay, so we got to stop making bets on Wednesdays.
Oh, my God. I thought about it last night afterwards. I went, oh, it was Wednesday. Shucks. Yeah, they pulled Max Scherzer on me last minute. It totally messed everything up. For those that don't know, we were on Boston. They usually have a great track record against Max Scherzer, who was a starter for the Blue Jays. He comes out and he back spasms right before first pitch, which actually delays the game. Guess what, buddy? I back spasm too. It's time to retire. So you're getting old. The cyclone eyes, the double colored eyes. Love the guy, but time to hang it up, brother. By the way, Brody, I love the new facial hair and everything. I didn't know. What is that? Is that Turkish hair transplant there? So welcome the new kid. Buckle up, Buttercup. It's a bumpy ride here. So yeah, we're ready to rock and roll. What do we want to talk about?
When do you start preparing for your fantasy drafts?
Now, June, July. I mean, look, hockey's over, NBA's over, baseball's about it right now. So yeah, now's the time to start looking into it. So I would tell people, start building out what I call your non-people, like the people you don't want to touch at all. Like whether it's injury issues, whether it's concerns, maybe they burned you last year. Create a list of guys you won't touch no matter what. I would look for some of the coaching changes, not so much head coaching, which does matter, i.e., let's say New York Giants with Harbaugh, but look at coordinators. Defensive and offensive coordinators are changing. That's going to be schemes changing. That's going to play into roles. Who's getting targets? Are they more run heavy, pass heavy, etc.? And then obviously position battles. The first one that comes to mind, Detroit, right? Montgomery, he gone. Gibbs is in there. They got the young kid coming in. We'll see if there's much of a battle there. But yeah, look at some of these wide receiver and running back battles and matchups and see how the workload might be kind of balanced or spread out as well. But now is where the preparation starts, because drafts start usually in August. And if you're somebody that takes it seriously, you can get a big step on the competition, because most guys aren't even thinking about it until middle of August.
You and much with the World Cup?
Yeah, no, we're killing it. There's only been a couple games that have gone a little sideways on me. Spain not scoring any goals. That threw a wrench in my plan. But yeah, we just hit a parlay yesterday. Thank you, Colombia, I think was the last one that won last night.
Colombia won 3-1.
So yeah, and we have, and I'm not an expert at soccer. We got guys that follow this stuff religiously. I don't watch soccer, but I've been watching. I like it. It's been exciting. I think also because it's here in the United States. My bold prediction is I think Germany makes a deep run in the World Cup. I know a lot of these Argentinas and things like that are much highly regarded, but I think Germany is a team to cause a mess there in the World Cup for some people.
Based on what we've seen so far from the World Cup, it feels like it's more wide open than I thought. When you mentioned the Spain thing, Portugal with their draw yesterday, U.S. looking as good as they did in their first game. It feels like there's a lot of different, and so like a lot of countries have possibilities of winning this thing or making a big run. Germany, not somebody people talked about a lot coming in, but it just seems to me like there is so much uncertainty right now in how this is going to play out, because teams that are getting draws in games they should have won or losing games people thought they would win could change how they get seeded, obviously, when we get past pool play.
Yeah, here's the thing is some of these major powers, the Colombias, the Argentinas, the Brazils, the France, the traditional powers, I don't think are as dominant as they have been in years past. And I think some of these smaller, I was watching Ghana play last night. They've got some studs on that Ghana team. Watch out for Ghana. They got some guys that can streak down the field. They made those Panamanians. I don't know what they call them there.
Yeah,
in Panama,
Panamanians. I think it's fair.
They made them look slow in some spots. So yeah, I think the level of competition or talent on some of these smaller Curacao, I think, has a team that I thought was just a small island with a couple thousand people. They look pretty good. So I think the talent level across some of these different nations has risen. And so I don't think we have as many dominant teams in the world anymore.
I think you're getting Germany 13-1. And for a country that's won 4 World Cups, which is second only to Brazil, you have to probably feel pretty good about that. Guys, when you look at this and you see there's some of the elite players and they have aging players, we watched the Messi had a hat trick the other day. I think people thought that he was done, and this was more of a ceremonial tour. This would be his last one. He's been playing in the MLS, for heaven's sake. How much do you value some of the older star power and experience on some of these teams?
I think it's huge. I think the experience more than just because you're a star, but I think because he's been there so often. Here's the deal. This might be his last World Cup. I think there's something where he goes out with a bang. We're talking about Messi here. But some of these other superstars, I think there is something to be said about being on the world stage. The whole world is watching you. This is your legacy. This is kind of how people, at least in the soccer world, are going to remember you. So I think a lot of these star players are actually going to rise to the occasion and try to kind of put their stamp on this tournament.
Johannes, I've been doing some with the World Cup betting I've done something called the double chance, where it's like last night it was Ghana to win or draw. Oh, you're nodding your head. All right. Okay, wait, listen, though. Ghana, like win or draw, and then I parlay it with a baseball pick to get better odds on that then. I'm a fool?
Yeah, what is that? Only Fools Rush in Love. I think that was an Elvis song. Clearly, with how many marriages you have, we know you are. So
2 so far.
This tell Heather I said hello.
Yeah,
so yeah, don't double chance it. We were on Ghana money line. It was plus money, but we've been posting all these soccer plays. Mr. Yes, who's our big soccer guy, he's been posting a lot of them. But yes, we hit. What did we hit? We hit Britain and Ghana. 2-leg parlay was plus 450. Hit that yesterday. So yeah, just pay attention. You're in the community there, Tito. But yeah, don't start cross sports on me. Don't do that. Don't do that. Baseball was really well yesterday. Other than the free play, we were like 4-0 yesterday. Can I brag a little bit here now?
Please, go ahead.
So we just crossed over, and again, this is for $100 bettors, just crossed over $50,000 in profit this year. So we're about halfway, right? How about halfway through the year? June, like halfway through June. So yeah, we're like halfway in the year. Never have we ever hit $100,000 in profit in a calendar year. I hope, this is my goal. It wasn't the goal to start the year. It's my goal now is if we can hit $100,000 in profit for those $100 bettors, that's the goal. For all the fathers out there, it's Father's Day Sunday. Come join. We're giving a free access. If you ever been called daddy before, hey, daddy, come shoot me an email. My first name, Chad, at wewinwin.com. Just put the subject line, put daddy, and I'll know what you're talking about. But we'll give you free access for the rest of the month, rest of June, into the community. And by the way, don't call me daddy. You can call me Papi Blanco.
You're the man. We appreciate the time. Any advice for Bobby how to spend his weekend?
On the couch watching golf.
Maybe. We'll see who's playing on Sunday.
All right, you're the man.
All
Thank
right.
you so much. We
I'll
appreciate it,
shoot you
buddy.
a text, Bobby. I'm going to give you the winner on Sunday. Place a bet Sunday morning.
All right.
All right.
I'll get
Peace.
that.
Deuces.
All right, that was Your Highness, Chad at WeWinUn.com. Matt shut up and bets where you can find his bets. And his 100 to 1 million. I'm a little disappointed, Bob. He said his goal was to make $100,000 profit this year. I would think his goal should be to make me a millionaire this year.
Absolutely. Make it so
selfish on his part.
all in it's for you. Maybe
That's-
that'll be what's got you juiced.
Let's do what's got you juiced.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, it's Thursday, Bob, I believe. What does Schlegs have to say?
Here's probably the best takeaway from this, guys, and this is just the reality of the situation. And I wrote this down. I don't know where I put the
there you go.
doomajig.
Find
Go
it.
to the pad.
Find the doomajig.
No. It's in my mind. It's in my mind.
I wrote it down in my mind. What's got you juiced, Isaiah?
Big night last night for me and E. Went to the grocery store, picked up some huge night.
Big night, yes.
But went to the grocery store, picked up some steaks. So excited to cook those up today. I wanted to cook them up last night, but the pouring down rain kept me off the grill. So I'll be doing that today after the show into the evening time tonight. That's what I've got for today.
Bob, when he said that, it's not like the old school thing.
I
It's like
understand.
I got a nice little Saturday lined up. We're going to Home Depot, maybe get some milk, some flooring. I'm not sure. It's a lot to do in one day.
Don't know if I have enough time. It was great. Last night I was going to run the carpool for my son for his. My wife yells at me when I say "fur" instead of "for." So I told her I hang out with Nelly a lot. I was in St. Louis for
Lancaster.
a minute, but I was running the carpool for my son Cullen up to Olentangy. It's usually a whole 2.5 hour night because it's 40 minutes at 5:30 to get there from my house. That got canceled, I think, due to the weather that was coming in. And so I was over at Ohio State, and they were having the 7-on-7. So I was planning on going to see my dad tonight since I'm going to be out of town for Father's Day. Went down last night. Got a chance to spend an awesome evening with him. Just me and him sitting on the couch and talking a lot about life, stories, getting into some of the stuff and more, some things I thought I've heard most of them. And then he always pops out a new one or an additional detail that is phenomenal to hear. And so getting to spend about 5 hours with my dad uninterrupted last night was a lot of fun and really enjoyed that. So that was great and very, very enjoyable for me. And then also I was riding back. Someone texted me this, and I'm gonna have to go pick this up. Columbus Monthly had some sort of contest, Show Columbus You're the Best, and they had a voting thing. And you could vote in for a number of different issues, a number of different people and categories. At Best Radio Morning Show, Best Radio Station, Best Radio Personality, Weather Person. There's some other ones in there. I've got to go take a look at it. But I was honored enough to be even on the list for Best Radio Personality and ended up being the winner. So a big thank you to everybody that voted for that and the folks over at Columbus Monthly. And very, very juiced to see that. Really, after talking to my dad, that was the next part that really made my day and made whatever yesterday was, June 18th, a good one for me. What's got you juiced, Jeff?
Well, I didn't quite hear any kind of thank yous. And that's okay. I feel like Andrew Ridgely is how I feel right now. I feel like you are George Michael, and I am Andrew Ridgely right now.
Well, then
congratulations to you.
Good. I've got more, and you've got more days left than me because I'll be dying of pneumonia, probably related to immunodeficiency at some point.
I don't think it's going to happen,
but
Bob.
I do have faith.
You do have faith, yes, and I'm not going to say I want your sex because that'd be awkward.
Just
to
wake
bring
me
up
up
another.
before you go.
I will. It's a careless whisper. I'm never going to dance again, Bob, because my guilty feet have got no rhythm. Wham references galore today. Congratulations to you, Bob. It's radio personality. It's not like just sports rate. It's like it's all it's all the stations. It's the other ones that yuck around and play music. Like it's everything.
They had Rothman was one of the finalists.
Right.
Common Man was one of the finalists, and so.
Will you talk junk to either one of them?
No, I was texting with Rothman about it. He's the best. I mean, I got to work with Anthony for 5 years, so I'm always privileged to get to come on with him. He helped mold me, I think.
Has Rothman ever won it?
I don't know. I didn't even know that. Like I said, I don't usually see the awards and all this stuff.
Right.
Fish always sends around the emails when people win things, so I'm excited to see what that looks like.
Do you think we'll get an email about this?
Who knows? Unknown.
Are you going to carry around a copy of it with you?
I'm going to go get a couple, maybe frameable.
Well, I'm saying, when you take like one with you and say, oh, if you meet people that you have fall out of your bag, like, oh, I'm sorry, it's just a magazine.
Sign it and pass it out.
Right, do something like that.
I'll go grab one. This might be the last award I ever win in my life, so.
There was somebody I worked with.
Outside of Worst Father of the Year.
And I'm not going to say, I'm not calling Children's Service on you, Bob. But, not again. But anyway, there was somebody who I met one time, and it was a professional environment where it wasn't like, at a card signing show or something. It was like I was going to work with this person. And the first.
Is this Johnny Bench and you put your hand on his shoulder?
I never met Johnny Bench. It was Emmett Smith that's the one who got upset about that.
So you posted that yesterday too.
Yeah,
nice little flashback for you.
Yeah, a little flashback there on that one. It was, but nonetheless, so Bob, and somebody, upon meeting me, handed me an autographed football card of them.
That's awesome.
Like,
Don't
hey,
have to ask.
Here, wanted to give this to you, and I'm like, okay. It wasn't Emmett. Like, Emmett would have been cool. Like, if Emmett would have given me that, or when I interviewed Tom Berenger, if Berenger gave me like a major league card signed by him, I would have loved that.
It's a fake player.
Any of the cruisers, whatever.
Character.
Yes, I'm saying I would have, but like somebody though did this, and I'm like, that's okay. It was like kind of weird. I think that somebody would be carrying those around and handing them out.
And thinking that you want one.
Right. Because it wasn't like it was.
How did you approach him?
It was just like we were getting ready to do something together.
Oh, okay.
And like, I'm like, hey, Tito's.
I've had a guy do that to me before.
You had somebody do it for you?
Yeah, give me a card.
Gave you a card?
It was fine.
But it's kind of weird, though, isn't it?
Well, we were talking, and he's like, hey, got one of these. All right.
Thanks.
That's why I think you should get like 10 copies of this thing and just autograph them all.
Actually,
don't autograph them. Bring a Sharpie.
That'll be my present to my kids for Father's Day.
Will that get auctioned? Will that be part of the draft? You have to do a redraft now. You draft all your stuff.
I don't know if that's making the cut.
If that makes the cut. I don't know if you know it's not Isaiah, but his kids, they've already had a draft on what they get when he dies. All the different memorabilia and things like that. They actually had a draft, a snake draft, if you will, on like, I want this jersey.
Speaking of that, I got to get back to Krenzel about my life insurance. We're doing some reallocating there. I mean, depending on how good they are, it's a fluctuating situation.
You deal with Krenzel in that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
He takes care of all my insurance.
All right. Krenzel's a good dude.
Done a pretty good job.
Yeah. For the longest time, the biggest picture of my house was of Craig Krenzel.
Sounds good, Billy Joel. With
my son on the from the first administration. That was like when he met him at like a auto dealership or something way back when, after the championship run. And that was the largest. And I was married at the time, so we had wedding stuff. But the biggest picture in the house was my oldest son with Craig Krenzel.
Now it's just the one with Heather and Rick Nash.
Yes, that's Bob. Look, I don't. Next time you talk to Nash, I don't know. I'd like to have a sit down with him and just talk about things because it's bothersome how much my wife, how happy she was to see Rick Nash in that photo, and she still has not smiled at me that way ever. That's it for Morning Juice. Thank you to Albert Breer. Thank you to your Highness for joining us. Thank you to the award-winning Bobby Carpenter to my left. Isaiah, folks, we are back tomorrow. It's an AJ Hawk Friday. This is Morning Juice.